Hey, what's up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and we're doing another episode of Guess That Rank. If you aren't familiar with what this is, basically, you guys submit replays to the YouTube community tab. I take a look at your matches, I look at what fights you want me to look at, or just kind of whatever I notice. I give you some criticisms, and then at the end of the clips, I try to guess your rank. So if you're excited for this video, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's start guessing some ranks. And I do want to let you guys know that I just made a full-length analysis, draft analysis, and in-game analysis of OG versus Nigma Game 2. On top of that, I made a full draft analysis of that series as well. So there's 2 draft analysis and 1 in-game analysis on the website. Those will never come to YouTube, so if you're looking to get a content that's going to help you get to the next level and understand Dota on a higher level, as well as just have a good time, click the link down below. Honestly, it's really worth it, guys. There's even a refund policy. Like, if you don't like it for whatever reason, it's not expensive. If you don't like it, you can just get a refund. So go try it. I really do think it's a worthwhile investment. It's going to save you a lot of time. And now let's get into the video. All right, so the first clip we're going to be looking at, it's pretty funny. Ingenious wanted me to look at 2 different heroes. So one is him and one is his friend, a Grimstroke and Sven. So we'll look at both. We got Anti-Fish Boy, okay, and Mr. Facts and Knowledge with the Ben Shapiro profile picture. Very reasonable, okay. So, is this a mid Sven? Where are your tangos? Is this a mid? Must be mid Sven, which is kind of weird, but yeah, he has no tangos on the Sven. Looks like they're going for first blood. Nice wrap on the first blood. Wait, did you forget? What lane? You're mid, surely, right? Ah! Is this guy gonna give you tangos? Hopefully this Grimstroke gives you tangos, in which case, this is actually okay. I'm okay with this if he gives you tangos. I'm curious to see if he'll do it or not. This is gonna be cool. But okay, you're playing Sven. Let's take a look. One thing that's a big part about like a Grimstroke Sven lane is knowing when you come online. So against the Huskar, I definitely would say you could try to pressure him at level 1. Even Treant, like right here, I see this as a very weird positioning from the Treant. You know, he's in between both of you. He's not sneaking up to anyone. He's not even close to the trees. Like he's not in the trees. And so this seems like a good. All right, this is a good opportunity to get some harass, and you kind of don't really go on it. So I would have liked to see you in the Grimstroke maybe at least consider running at him. Now you're against Huskar. Where's items? Why does he have no items? Okay, moving on. Bizarre. Yeah, let's see what you do in terms of creep aggro and CS. So definitely you haven't pulled creep aggro once yet, which is not great. Okay, you definitely did not have to throw that stun, even though it's like a reasonable play and I'm okay with it. It's like good fundamentals. The Treant wasn't there, and so you didn't have to, but that's all right. Then what was that? What the guys? For all you carry players, you cannot do this. Like I have no other way to say it. Just because you pushed in the lane doesn't mean you have like a full 30 seconds to go do nothing. Not that it was that long, but you get the point. Like Anti-Fish Boy. My man goes on a trek to meet his courier in Narnia. Like, bruh, you need to stay close to the creep wave. You're missing a bunch of creeps. Nah, and I also mean the XP. Like, completely ignoring the gold, ignoring the CS. The XP is just as important, if not more important, in these early levels. And so, definitely, yeah, you need to pull creep aggro. Like, dude, if I'm this Huskar, I'm gonna light you on fire. Yeah, I mean, you're constantly in attack range. Unless you're trying to go on a Huskar, you shouldn't be in attack range. Does that make sense, guys? If you're in a melee range matchup, and you're not trying to either bait them, or hit them, or go for a last hit, like, immediately go for a last hit, you shouldn't be in range. You should be pulling aggro to prevent yourself from tanking rank clicks. Now, this Huskar doesn't ever hit you. Literally, I don't think he's hit you a single time, but he should be. Alright, next thing I'd like to look at, before we move on into the team fights, I do want to see if at any point in the lane, we'll skip through it, but I want to see if at any point in the lane you and the Grimstroke work together to cast your stuns in coordination. Like for me, especially if you're friends, that is like the most important thing you could do in a lane with 2 stuns. Frankly, in any lane, synergizing your damage, just using it at the same time is like one of those things where if you don't do it, man, you're gonna have a hard time playing against any good competition. But okay, let's skip through. Let's just see if you do it. Play it pretty fast. Okay. Yeah, okay. All right. Let's quickly take a look at when you do it, because that's also important. I will say as well that I'm a big fan of putting 2 points in Sven stun in kill lanes, you know, so if I think I have a lot of kill threat, like on a hero like Huskar, who's pretty easy to kill early on, then I would take 2 points in stun. But getting into the point, I don't like the instant stun. The reason why I don't like instant stun is because you're already in attack range, and so the point of stuns is to prevent someone from doing something, whether or not that's running away or hitting you. There's no reason to stun him right away. A great time to stun him is when like right as the disarm is ending, right? Or like like just about, only to guarantee that you don't get right-clicked this much. So try to close the gap as much as possible, and then stun. But okay, you end up winning the trade. I kind of wish you had tangos or a tango going, but yeah, definitely, it was a bit of a weird time to go. On top of that, you guys let the Huskar kind of get items. Oh my god, he's... So he was rushing Helm of Iron Will. So that's another thing. Like, but this is Dota, right? It's all the small things added up. If you guys noticed that Huskar had no items, you should have been booking it at him, right? You see what I'm saying? If you notice that someone comes to lane with no items, you need to beat them up. You need to beat them up. They cannot trade, right? They cannot trade. All right, moving on to the mid game. Let's take a look at what Grimstroke's doing. Got some arcane boots, got a salve, moving around the map, making some plays, shoving in some waves. This is good. The ring of regen's a little bit weird. I don't know what that's for. Maybe you were planning on buying Tranks and didn't, but definitely odd. Oh, okay. So I don't get your positioning here, right? Just because like these are the type of things that people like, they don't see them as mistakes necessarily. They'll just be like, yeah, I'm getting ganked because I'm a support, like I'm supposed to. Not that Mr. Facts and Knowledge, you know, thinks that way, but I do see this a lot where people put themselves out of position and then they don't even regard it as out of position. They're just like, yeah, I'm a support, it's whatever. No, that's not true at all, right? So here, you want to only go as far as you have to, right? So what I would do is if I want to kill this wave instantly is I'd Inkswell one of the melee creeps, I'd nuke, and that's going to kill the wave, right? You don't even have to Inkswell, you can just nuke. But then you need to back up. Like, you should never be this greedy unless you're trying to bait, right? In which case, okay. But yeah, definitely very greedy here. Even though you definitely seem fine. Just keep that in mind, right? Yeah, just keep that in mind. Be careful about putting yourself out of position, because then it will put your teammates out of position, like sort of like this. Even though this actually seems like a very easy fight, I'm pretty sure Sven's about to cleave them down, or not. Never mind. Okay, psych. It ended up being a horrible fight. Yeah, this is kind of a good example of like why. Like this is what's so cool. Okay, like I want everyone to look at this and be like, wow, I have a lot more impact on games than I realize. Because when you do something bad, it's not just you that something bad happens to. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like when carry players go high ground, when they shouldn't go high ground, they end up killing their entire team, right? They can throw, like, even if their death is only 2,000 net worth, they'll, like, kill their entire team, and basically one overextension from the carry kills their entire team. Now, you could say, well, his teammates didn't have to get baited in, and absolutely, right? Absolutely. If the Dragon Knight's a better player, maybe he'll be like, yeah, this Grimstroke's out of position, my team's not even ready to fight, Sven's not here, Wynn's not here, I'm not going to try to save a Grimstroke, I'll just go, you know, push in top or something like that. And that's important to do as well. But yeah, the Spirit Breaker and the Dragon Knight both make these like YOLO save plays that aren't really based off anything. Even though this fight ended up looking okay for a second. I do wish you got up your Inkswell before getting stunned there. There was like a small gap where you could have. It's always important to try to throw out your spells before dying. But yeah, now you can see even the wind ends up like coming to this garbage fight. Ooh, no, okay, yeah, she's dead. And yeah, it's really a snowball effect, so just pay attention to that in your games as well. Alright, and the last thing we'll do before we guess the rank is we'll take a look at Sven and his farming patterns. So you got a Mask of Madness, Treads, okay. I tend to like to see Wand on this hero. Sometimes it's okay to skip it if your timings are really good. But, you know, you're such a mana-hungry hero, so a couple things I definitely like to see you buy Clarities. Wow, what are you doing? Where are you going? Guys, anti-fish boy, what's happening? They all showed bottom. Guys, when the enemy team all shows bottom and you're playing carry, where should you go? Top, unless you want to fight them, obviously. But I definitely wouldn't want to fight them with my Grimstroke and Spirit Breaker dead. But this is like the information you have to quickly absorb to become good at the game, right? You have to say, oh, 2 teammates died, okay, I'm going top. They're bottom, I'm going top. But instead, you make the typical, I'm going to say it, low mark carry play. Like, there's just no way you're high rank if you make these type of decisions. I'm being real with you guys, right? Like, if you run back to base when you could have farmed, like, almost half the remainder of your BKB top, like, you're throwing your ability to carry the game. Until you have BKB, you basically cannot fight, right, on Sven. I mean, that's not fully true there. You know, obviously, if they dive your tower and you clean up, yeah, of course you can fight. But for the most part, BKB is your timing. And now you TP top, which is a disaster, because now when you push in top, if they TP top, you're stuck, right? And so it's really important that you don't commit TPs like this and that you get out into the dangerous parts of the map. On top of that, look at this. Your team's getting dove. Now you don't have God Strength, and you haven't shoved in the lane top, so there's nothing for them to respond to. They didn't have to defend. No one had to defend. And you don't have TP. It's like the ultimate disaster. And this is why I love Dota. I love it. I love it because like it's like if you don't know this game at a high level, I'm being real, like, if you don't know this game at a high level, you'll look at that and you'll be like, yeah, his team sucks. It is what it is. But if you know the game, you know how much he just threw. Yes, his team is 11k behind. Yes, I know, guys. I know. But you cannot make the wrong play and just be like, yeah, my team sucks, if you want to get good at the game. Because this game is winnable. If he gets a BKB and the enemy team dives his high ground, which they will, he can maybe wipe them. And then all of a sudden, this 12k lead becomes a 6k lead. One more good fight, you're back in the game. And, you know, that's the greatness, especially being a core player. Even as a support, as I said, you have more impact than you think. All right, I'm ready to guess. I wouldn't say that this is too low. I feel like your general synergy was decent. Decision making wasn't there, but items were fine. Yeah, no BKB. All right. You end up winning this fight. I don't know if you won the game or not, because I obviously can't look at the ending page. This looks like it might be okay. You stun him up, cleave him down, you gotta run away, kite out. I just go heal or farm. Okay. So you should run bottom. Alright, going back to base is okay. Okay, let's guess your rank. I'm gonna say that this is Crusader 2. I'm gonna say Crusader 2 for both of them. I'm not gonna do a separate guess for each person. I'd imagine they're probably around the same rank. Obviously, I don't know that for sure, but yeah, I'm gonna say Crusader 2. And Anti-Fish Boy is your Guardian 210 matches. 210 matches? 209? Are you guys new to the game? 2015? Oh, maybe you guys don't play a lot. Oh, that's funny. I don't know. So, you see, I don't think it's a Smurf, though, because, like, I kind of guessed pretty close, right? I said Crusader, which is the rank above. I don't think it's... Oh, maybe you guys just don't play a lot. Maybe you guys are just, like, casual, which is cool, by the way. Like, if that's the case, that's super cool. Like, sometimes I wish I was more of a casual Dota player. You know, I could just have more fun. Well, not that I don't have fun, but... All right, yeah, I definitely would say continue to work on spellcasting. Make sure you're checking items in the laning stage, right? Stay in XP range. Make sure you're getting at the lanes when you can, right? If a fight goes poorly, you can't just like run back to your base. That's what most people do, and it's a grief. But all right, let's get into the next clip. Next up on the list, we have Elio Cater, who said, bad matchup, but so I look to make a difference somewhere else. That's all the analysis. Minute 0 to 15 is what he wants me to look at. That's what we can do. Let's take a look. So, Butters. That's your name in game, Butters. Okay, I guess it's like butter, but a butt and ers in plural. Okay, you walk back to base. I wouldn't have walked back to base here. You're not like that low. This is like a big waste of time, you know, because in Dota, you know, like every second counts, right, guys? What you do in minute 0:30 impacts what happens in minute 8. Right? That's always how you have to look at the game, you know? And so you only go back to base if you're like 100, 100, or 200, 200. I definitely wouldn't go back to base with like, you know, half, especially 5 region. Now, you don't have tangos, but, you know, like, it's just not that bad. I wouldn't have gone back to base, is all I'm trying to say. Because, so this is how we see this lane. It's Drow Oracle, and you're Tiny Bristles, so you need to cut the first wave, which happens at like 47, if I'm not mistaken. I kind of just look at the wave, but I think it's like 47. Yeah, so, okay, 49. So 49 here, a little bit, yeah, 49 here, and I guess like 50-ish here. You need to drag the wave. If you don't drag this wave, I mean, yeah, this lane's not good. Like, Bristle hates Drow. Like, this is such a bad lane for Bristle, because it's just 2 ranged heroes who are just going to auto-attack him, you know? And if they buy sticks, it becomes even worse. And so, you know, you have to be dragging this first wave. Every wave you miss is just a disaster. So you block the small camp. Okay, that's awesome. That's definitely a sign of a decently higher more player, but you have to drag this next wave. You have to. Look at the lane position. Guys, let me ask you a question, okay? What in the world can a Tiny do when the lane looks like this? Like, besides pull or drag, okay? What can he do if he's to stand here? Nothing! Nothing! You can maybe try to deny a creep, but then you're going to take half your HP from autos because you're a 0 damage hero. You can't do anything. You shouldn't try to do anything. It's so bad. Melee against range almost always drags the waves. Even range melee against melee, the melee tends to drag. And so you see how you're just walking around in circles? This is why bot lane's hard. And this is awesome. I'm glad this happens, because now you can fix it, but you gotta adapt. Like, you're screwing your Bristle back. Like, literally, if I'm Bristle, I'd be like, what? Get this guy out of my game. And now you just leave him. You just leave him to the you know, what is it called? To the birds, or, you know, you leave him to die. You leave him to rot and rust. And what is he gonna do? This guy's, he's screwed. He's not gonna be able to do anything. He's just gonna get zoned out. Bristle is not a hero that can solo lane early on unless, you know, you have really good mechanics or it's just an easy matchup. Like, so this rotation, yeah, this looks like pretty good. You're probably gonna get a kill here. Hopefully. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, which is okay. Oh. The Oracle TPs, which is such a mistake from Oracle. Guys, all you position 5 players, please don't do this. If you don't have, like, a proper save spell, then don't TP. Unless the fight is, like, if the fight's happening, like, under your tier 1, and you know for a fact you can TP in and have impact, that's fine. But look when this guy TPs. I mean, the sniper's, like, 80% dead, and it's on the high ground. You're not going to do anything. You have to, like, if you TP in a situation like this, you are hard griefing. Like, you're not going to gain MMR if you make these plays. Like, I'm being real, right? And so, yeah, it's just such a bad TP from Oracle. Because now this Drow plus Oracle could have easily shut down this Bristle. I mean, look, he's no regen. Oh my god. And, like, if this guy gets to lane with no regen and less than half HP, that's a travesty. Drow's bullying him out, which is great. Okay, yeah. At least Drow kicked him out, so clap it up for Drow, boys. Let's freaking go, Drow. He's only got 5 last hits. Yeah. Tiny, please look at this. Please, please. All you position 4 players, please, 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 please hear me out. If you think the lane is going bad, you have to either pull or drag. Early on, you drag because you literally cannot pull. It doesn't spawn till minute 1. That's why you drag, because the pull camp isn't there. Please, you cannot leave Bristle alone. It's not a solo lane hero until he has, like, a Vanguard, right? It's just not. If you secure him a good start, maybe, right? But then after that, yeah, and now it's kind of just GG. And so I get why you rotate out, because this guy can't do anything, but he largely can't do anything because of you. Okay, I'm curious to see what you do next. To be honest, he can't really do much to Drow. I mean, if Drow has to step up really far, she could still die. If this guy, he has goo. Drow could actually still die if she has to go up really far, but once again, the wave has literally been in under Drow's tower the entire lane, which just shows, I mean, this is just, there's just no way this is immortal. There's a low chance this is divine, you know, like, maybe it's ancient because people don't really still forget to do this stuff in ancient a lot, like most of the time. I mean, I can respect the constant sniper ganks. It is a sniper. This TP looks okay. They're diving. Yeah, maybe. Now it's not good. Ugh. I don't know. Ugh. Guess your next play is to go back mid. Yeah, I mean, this is okay. Like, some of your movements are alright, for sure. Your items are fine. Your clarity usage is good. I would just go on this guy, kill him, right? Okay, nice. Like, that's great decision making, good kiting in, good kiting out. Like, yeah, good re-engage here. This looks like another kill. I mean, your game's coming back now, so I'm kind of feeling ancient vibes. I don't know, maybe ancient, maybe legend. Even this deep warding is nice. You got a smoke, more clarity is like, yeah, I can get behind. Really, okay, yeah, even the synergy. Like, you guys know how I say this all the time. Like, synergy is a big thing for me. If you synergize, it probably means you're a high bar player. Especially if you synergize without, like, direct communication, that always impresses me. Like, that's always, like, a big thing for even any players, like, who I want to team with or want to play with. Like, it's always something I really enjoy with other players. Like, just the ability to do stuff together and make plays happen without even having to, like, really think too much about it, right? Okay. Honestly, I'm kind of ready to get some rank now. I'm a bit low on the mana there. Disengage, pop your clarity. Nice. Yeah, I mean... Like, I can get behind a lot what you're doing. You just screwed your Bristle so hard, so, like, I know it's not that high, for sure. I'm gonna say legend. I think it's, like, high legend. Can I look at CS, guys? Oh, pretty good. Not the best, though. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna say legend 5. I'm gonna say legend 5, guys. Oh, am I gonna be way off on this? This one I'm a little bit stomped. Part of me wants to say, like, ancient. Is it, like, much slower and I'm just, like, way off? All right, I'm saying it. Legend 5, and you are... Oh, all right. I was kind of close. All right. I mean, Ancient 3, I was like pretty on the money with that. That's not bad. First match 2019. That's impressive. Only a year to get to Ancient. I don't know. You guys are always sus. But I do kind of believe that you are from this rank. Like, it looks very Legend Ancient-esque, which I was saying. So I don't believe there's any like foul play here, or even if there is, it doesn't matter. Because yeah, I think your decisions make a lot of sense to me. Outside of the laning, which was a travesty. Okay, let's get into the next one. All right, and last but not least, we have Munchkindo, who said, "Hello, Mr. Speed. Team was very uncoordinated, and we all thought we had very little chance to win the later the game got. Timestamps 17, 28, 30 through 35. Okay, and there's a reply. USDA Prime corrected his speed with a speed with 3 E's. Thank you very much for correcting his speed with 2 E's with the speed with 3 E's. It is speed with 3 E's, guys. Come on. Come on, gotta be better than that. Nonetheless, you're playing Wraith King here. I don't really like the mentality of like, we don't win late game, like the later the game gets, the worse it gets. Like, I mean, yes, there's heroes that are better late game, like, you know, a Spectre is better late game than Pugna, right? Or something like that. You get the point. But for the most part, especially with how many items and talents, like, most heroes scale pretty well and have options. Once again, it's not guaranteed to be like that, but like, I don't look at your team comp and say like, yeah, you guys just fall off. Like, Naga also falls off late game, believe it or not, right? Like, this hero, it's not useless, but like, the illusions get to the point where like, yeah, you just kind of slot out. So Naga's actually strongest timing is like 25, 30-ish when she has like 3-4 items and is like 3, 4, or 5k up on the enemy carry, right? Because how fast she actually farms. I don't see that as a problem. And you have so many good Naga answers. You have Wyvern, who I think is good. You have Timber is great against Naga. You have Lesh, great against Naga. Wraith King is okay with Radiant. Not great, definitely not good. But yeah, I don't see this as a problem. I think Wyvern's also a great late game support. Really good wave shove. The percent base damage scales really well. The ulti is always good late game. And Bounty Hunter, the more to go. I just don't get that mentality. Like, be very careful about that, guys, because it just doesn't make very much sense to say that most of the time. It's like, first of all, I don't even get how that's really true this game, number one. And then number two, like, most of the time, like, what determines winning late game is like your early and mid game and then the decisions you make. Like, it almost sounds like when people are like, yeah, we just probably lose late game. It's like, okay, what value does that add? Just try to win the game. You guys get what I'm saying? Like, just try to win the game. Like, why are you gonna try to, like, make yourself feel bad and be like, yeah, I don't know, man, I don't think we win that game. You know, you get what I'm saying though, right? Like, I know I'm messing around, I'm being a little bit annoying, but you get the point, you know? It's like, just make a good smoke gank. Maybe bait a hero bottom, pick them off, or shove in bottom or shove in mid, smoke across the top, catch the Naga split pushing top. I don't know. Be creative. Come up with something, right? And like, try to catch them off guard. You can't just be like, yeah, we lose that game. It's just our hero, you know? It's like, no, it's not. All right, so the first play you said to look at was minute 17. You are not farmed at all. Oh my god. Where is your last hits, man? What is happening? Looks like you've been fighting a lot because you have 2 kills and 4 assists, which is not a ton, but it's enough. Where's your farm though, bruh? You have no last hits. I don't know what you've been doing, but definitely something to look into. Your CS is not good. Wait, wasn't I supposed to look at this? 17? What even happened? What, your team's dying? Is that what you're trying to show me, that your team's dying? Wait, why am I looking at 17? What even happened? Your team's killing them. What am I looking at? Is this good? This is good. Your team, right? Okay, things are great. Your team's crushing, it seems. Leshrek's popping off. You're pretty farmed, I guess. You're actually more farmed than I thought you would be. I don't really know how. I guess your team's taking a lot of towers. Yeah, you do. I mean, so do they, though. I don't know. Weird. Definitely weird. 20-minute Radiance is not too bad. I guess maybe I'm slightly over-exaggerating how bad your CS was. To be fair, you were against a Naga, but she was like almost triple your CS, to be fair. Not quite. Maybe it's more around double. Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but yeah, let's take a look at these fights. Uh-oh, that is not the way you want to start the fight, getting hooked out of position. What even just happened? That was such a big misclick. Oh, that hurts. So this is fine. You get your Radiance, you walk in, but like, what is this? Like, literally, if you just hit him and then didn't, like, phase boots through him, you wouldn't have gotten hooked and you would have gotten the kill. Like, I don't know, this is like, you played that the worst possible way you could, to be just being frank, and now, oh no, you're freaking dead. Okay, so, just to go back to this, a big thing is to smoke off your timing. So, like, anytime you hit a timing, it's really good to smoke, rather than just, like, running it down and just making some YOLO play, which can be okay, but, like, you're just chasing some Witch Doctor. Instead of doing that, try to smoke and be like, oh, where's Naga? Right? Try to smoke and catch a Naga with the Radiance, you know, that type of thing. But, you know, I don't think this fight had to be bad, but you got hooked really, really out of position. Then your team did react really slowly, to be fair, but at the same time, it definitely, that was definitely mostly like a problem of just like, it's just not a great fight, right? Definitely try to hit your timings and then smoke. Like, use that as a tip for everyone, guys. Like, make sure y'all take that into consideration. All right, next timer is 28. I'm a little bit concerned. Does Naga have Diffusal? No, she does not. Okay. This Naga's pretty good at last hitting. Your CS is... Oh, that's not you. Okay. Meh. It's okay. I don't know. I'm a little bit mad about these items. Sanjin Yasha. The reason why I think it's meh this game is they just have so many like Naga kites you, Wind kites you, and Pango kites you. So like part of me just wants to see you get a Blink or a BKB. These are kind of like the anti-kite items. And so is Sanjin Yasha to some extent. You know, it gives you movement speed and status resist. I'm just like a little bit nervous because status resist doesn't do anything against Wind or Pango. I mean, that's not true. It does some stuff. It doesn't do anything against Windrun, and it's like not great against Pango. So I think I would have preferred to just see Blink BKB, especially if Naga was to buy Defusal, which is pretty common against Wraith King. But okay, let's skip ahead. I'm not a fan of the Basher. I'm definitely not a fan of Basher because, like, in my opinion, I look at their team comp, I'm like, you can't even hit them, right? You can't even hit them, so let alone bash them. You should just buy like a mobility item so you can at least get into the fight and allow your teammates to pop off, right? Like when I see a Timber Lesh with you in like a bad Wraith King game, I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna throw my body in and hope to tank the damage so Timber and Lesh can kill them. Okay, that's a nice curse. This looks pretty good. You should have definitely kept running in. No reason to back after getting a kill. The Pango did buy back here. Oh, he's dead. Okay, you should just stun Wind. Very nice. Cool. Looks pretty good, You said your team was uncoordinated. This looks fine. I don't really see too much of a problem. Is Roshan up? You guys should 100% Rosh here. If it's up. Oh, nice. Awesome. Let's go, baby. Uh-oh, I hope your team commits to it, though. They're not really committing as hard as they need to. Okay, the Lesh comes over. Great. Yeah, all right. Great. Maybe this is a pretty high more game, actually. Because your CS it's not great, but, like, the rest of the gameplay is good. Like, your spellcasting movement is not perfect. Like, some of your decisions in the fight were obviously not the best. A lot of small mistakes that add up and definitely would, you know, potentially cause you to lose a game and not get to a higher rank. Wait, your name's Divine Hell. Are you serious? Are you in Divine? Your name is Divine Hell. Are you in Divine? Oh my god. Oh my god. Are you actually in Divine? I really hope this is just like some meme and he's not actually in Divine, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, maybe like Divine Hell sounds like it could be the name of like a band, right? Some like metal bands. It's like, yeah, we're in Divine Hell. Yeah. Maybe that's what this is, but I don't know. It kind of seems like you're probably just, all right, let's just move on and look at the last fight. Kind of depressed that I caught that out. So I guess you said to watch 30 to 35 the entire duration. What am I watching? You got Aegis? You should probably smoke. I don't know why no one's calling it smoke gang. You got Aegis, go smoke. Smoke it up. They're always going to see you coming. If you don't smoke, smoke. So for instance, here's the best way to smoke as Wraith King. Okay, you run through a side lane, you click skeletons, you kill the wave, your skeletons run down the lane, push in the next wave, and then you smoke to the other side of the map, and you find someone. There you go, bada bing, bada boom. Instead, you have this nonsense where your team is going to run into them. You know what happens when you run into them? Your Timber Saw gets chain stun. Oh, wait, that's exactly what happened. But you get the point, right? Like, please, guys, I know I keep saying this, but like, I cannot stress enough how bad people are at decisions. Like, even on this Smurf, I think I'm on the Smurf. So this Smurf is now 6.3. I am dumbfounded by like how bad. Okay, I'm not dumbfounded. It's relative, right? All I do is play Dota and talk about the game, so like I guess I should be pretty good. But you get the point, right? Like 6K players, from my lens, from my perspective, literally have no idea how to call fights. And that's not fully true. They do. They have like better intuition than obviously a legend player. But yeah, it's still like, it's not really coordinated. It's not really creative. It's kind of just like, yeah, I'm strong. I'm going to run it down and hopefully cast my spells better than you. It's not like, oh, there's a hero bottom. Let's smoke the top. Or we can force them back top and then maybe wrap to mid. Or we can force them to fight us at Roshan here based on X timing. It's not really based on it. It's just kind of like, yeah, I think we're stronger and let's run it down. But the problem is, now look what happens. Timber gets chain stunned. Your Wyvern's literally in the middle of the fight, which is horrible. You're behind the Wyvern. It's like, when you know, guys, you know the game is not going the way you need it to, when your 3 live Wraith King is behind the Wyvern. There's definitely a problem. Right? There's definitely a freaking problem, if that's the case. So, yeah, not bueno. That was a good curse again. This guy, my man's on his curse game tonight. This looks like a horrible fight. This Lesh, once again, Lesh is frontlining. Like, I cannot stress that enough. If Lesh is in front of you, there's probably an issue because you need to be taking the damage. Like, you kind of need to make up your mind. And I like, see, to some extent, what's really funny in this fight is I actually sort of agree with the Wraith King, with Divine Hell, who's probably a Divine player. I sort of agree with him that, like, his team was going too far to some extent. and it would have been better if they kited out and then went back in. And to some extent, the Wyvern curse did happen because they did kite out, and it forced the enemy team to chase and clump up, which was great. I like, even if you look back at the video, you'll see that that's kind of what happens, which is huge. Oof, 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 God. All right, at least you have 3 lives. But yeah, I hope you guys see what I'm saying. Like, sometimes it's better to make the wrong play if it's on the same page with your whole team than make the right play and it be all different. Unless, you know, like, you're some Giga Farm hero and dying will completely throw the game or you have no buyback. Then you should just run away. Okay, you get hooked in. It seems like a good fight. You have age. Why are you running away, bro? Pango's dead. You have an Aegis. Just run, go in, bro. What are you doing? Go in. Now I don't get it. Come on. I was trying to back you up, Divine. I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, hey, you know, he was kind of making the right play. What are you doing? This Pango's dead. You have 2 lives. You have 3 lives. Just go. You know, like, kiting out is great and all, but not when you have, like, such an advantage and a team to protect you and like, 3 lives, theoretically. Okay, looks like you kind of end up winning the game here. I don't know, do you throw? It seems like you just click him down. I mean, yeah, so, like, it got to late game and you guys kind of won, right? Like, I'd consider minute 37 late game. Dive's not the best, but, you know, it's a pub, who cares? Okay, yeah, I mean, I don't really agree that you would have lost late game. I think it's a horrible late game Naga game. Like, I literally have no idea how Naga kills anyone late game. She can't really kill you too easily. That's sort of not true. Lesh is tough. Lesh buys a bunch of defensive items. You can. You sort of didn't, but you can. Wyvern can heal anybody that Naga goes on. Timber is not good for Naga at all. Even Bounty, he tends to buy, like, yeah, like, he buys the Shadow Walk thing and a bunch of armor. He's got also this nonsense, but okay, I'm gonna guess you're in Divine. Yeah, I'm gonna say, like, I don't know, Divine 2? I don't know. You made a lot of, like, good decisions, but at the same time, you pussied out sometimes. Okay, a Divine 2, and you are... Oh yeah, I forgot I looked at my profile. Does that mean I skipped over the game? Oh, I probably saw the ranks when I went to show you guys my profile. Did I show... Okay, I don't know. I'm going out of my mind. What rank are you? Oh, that's not you. Frick! In Divine 3, I couldn't... Ugh. So close. Alright. Well, nonetheless, either way, I hope you guys took a lot of educational value out of that video. I hope you learned a lot about why maybe these players aren't getting to the next rank or why they are stuck in their rank. But yeah, always, always, always be updating your information and the way you look at the game. Nonetheless, I'll see you in the next one. If you want another Guess the Rank video, smash the like button and keep your eye out for a post in the YouTube community tab. See ya. Peace. And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.